Mike, have you been making same kind of presentations to the elected officials, other than the county commissioners?
I have not at this time. We have discussed in our office, and there is plan to do a Senate Bill 5 seminar internally for all of the county clients, which includes not only the county departments, but like the township trustees, the school boards, those kind of things.
Go right ahead. Go ahead. No problem.
The debate internally has been over, whether to do it before November or after November, because we're not sure in terms of turnout and everything, whether it's worth everybody's time if it ends up getting repealed, for people to come out and do that. So it may not be till after November that we do it, so that we're not wasting people's time if it does get repealed. But we would expect, if it's going to be November, it'll be shortly after the election to have that seminar.
Right. Well, it's also a problem to the prosecutor's office, too, because I'm sure that you've spent a lot of time going through this.
Well, absolutely. Like I said, it's, the budget bill's 3,300 pages, and like I said, while I've not read all of it, I've been researching the provisions of it, and then, like I said, SB 5 is a little over 300 pages, which I have actually gone through every line of that.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's, like I said, there are definitely things here that are needed, that are going to benefit public entities. There's no disputing that. The question is, on the whole, where do you end up? And, it's unfortunate that, the entire discussion of Senate Bill 5 right now is focused on the health insurance and PRS, and nobody's talking about really the other aspects of it that I think are more problematic, and that's where the cost is going to be in terms of the counties. And so I'm not sure that, well, I think the county's net effect will be you'll save money, at least in the short term under SB 5. I don't know that the savings are going to be as high as people are predicting because of the other increased costs.
Well, and they're not going to, the implication is that the savings are going to offset the loss of local government funding, and I don't, from everything I've read, I don't think it's even close.
Yeah, I don't have the numbers, in terms of, again, because what you're talking about is essentially, depending on which classification the worker's in, a time gap between where these things take effect. I mean, if you have a department that has a 3-year collective bargaining agreement, you're not going to see any savings for 3 years.
Right.
And that's one of the things I didn't address with them is that the law doesn't address is what happens to offers, the last best offers that were made before SB 5. It may be a case where the appointing authority made an offer prior to SB 5 passing, that now, once SB 5 passes, if it gets past the referendum, that they may want to change that offer. Well, they may be stuck with the previous offer, even though the law has changed. Right. So, again, there's a whole lot of factors that need to be considered.
Well, and I think you made a insightful observation when you said even if Senate Bill 5 gets turned down by the voters, don't expect the provisions to go away, because they're going to be new tries to get that through, right?
Well, I certainly think certain provisions of it, and again, as you look at it, there are certain provisions of it that I would hope the legislature would make a second opportunity to pass if SB 5 gets repealed, because there are good things in that bill, and I think objectively, when you look at it, everybody can say that there are certain good things in that bill. They may have problems with certain provisions or certain aspects of it. And that's the problem when you have a 300-page bill that does as many different things as SB 5 attempts to do. There's going to be good, there's going to be bad, and, and again, part of that depends on what your perspective is. But, like I said, I would expect some of these provisions to come back in some form, and some of them I would, quite frankly, hope would come back in some form, because I think that there are necessary changes that need to be made to the collective bargaining process.
When do you expect Prosecutor Ferraro to make a decision as to whether to put the seminar for countywide officials on before November or after? You think he'll be making that decision pretty soon?
Well, I definitely think he'll be making it soon, because if we're going to do it before November, we've got to get it on the calendar.
Right.
So, like I said, I think he's been trying to feel out other elected officials and our clients to determine, what the interest level is in having that seminar beforehand. Because I think at this point, like I said, the concern is that we won't get, a lot of time and effort will go into preparing the seminar,
Right.
and that we won't get the attendance that we would like to see, because a lot of people are saying, well, I'm not going to worry about it till November. And see what they're taking a wait and see approach. So obviously, Prosecutor Ferraro does not want to waste the office's time and resources, and so he's trying to make a judicious determination of when the best time to have that is. And I think that's going to depend more on our clients than it is on anything else in terms of when they'd like to see that seminar take place.
So you'd expect that decision maybe, in the next 30 to 45 days?
Yes.